Okay, in the red room this morning. Good morning. Do this thing. What are you doing? I don't know. I did this wrong. They started again. They're crumbing for you. They're crumbing for you, Barbara. It's not yet 6 a.m. I'm really having snail snail anxiety. Snail anxiety. I'm gonna tell you people something. Whoever's watching this shit. Linda, I know you're still watching, and I have a question, and it's all about crumbs, because I know that you would probably have a good answer to this. So, but anyway, how do you keep crumbs off a bed? Crumbs off a bed, or like cat litter? Because my cat, it's not really crumbs; it's the cat's. All right, here's what's going on. I'm having snail anxiety, first of all, because I adopted these two fucking, or I'm fostering two snails. Two snails. Where is that fucking snail? Get the thing. I want to show this off. Here's the snail terrarium, right? You gotta drop it. I am not. What difference would it make? It's a snail. What's it gonna do? It's gonna attack me? It's not a tarantula, John. It's a snail. You don't know what happens to those things in this room, right? It's two snails, okay? They're living in this thing. Yesterday, they were just like really not having it. They were just like, oh, what is going on? This is like not my snail life, right? So then I said to John last night, they're just not happy here. I don't know. I'm getting the vibe that they're not happy. And John said, don't mistake that vibe for unhappiness. Snails have a different way of communicating. Those snails want to be here for a little while. Please let them feel it out. And don't worry about whether they're eating or not. They have plenty. They don't need for anything. Give them a couple of days, please. Oh, really? Because I was going to put them outside today. No, Lena, those snails are here for a reason. Everything that comes into your orbit is here for a reason, okay? All right. So keep the snails. Yeah, a couple of days. Please be patient with the snails. You're not giving them a chance. Think of me. What if you would have kicked me right out? And you've done it. I've done that to you. Yes, but you didn't know you were doing it. But yeah, you gave me the heave ho. You came very close to back in '95. You came so close to connecting to me. I thought I was in. I really thought I was in '95. Yes, when you had your own apartment and you were just newly divorced and you were starting to use the pendulum and you were doing your ruin readings every morning alone in your new apartment. And I thought, oh, she's going to find me now. She's going to figure out all this. And now we can really get moving. Oh, God. Then you started drinking again and then it was finished. So you're saying that the snails are like, will make me an alcoholic? What are you saying? I don't know what I'm saying, but leave them for a couple of days, all right? What is the difference? I need you to be patient with the snails the way you became patient for me to come. What's going to happen with the snails? That's just great. Their energy is great. Okay, so can I tell you people? You can tell whoever you want, but all right, the snails, okay? Since I've had the snails in that little terrarium next to my, crystals and yes, a couple of skulls, folks. The cats are going nuts, yeah. The cats are going nuts. I'm like, how do they even know these two fucking tiny snails are here? These snails are like as big as my pinky nail. Pinky snail. Pinky snails. That's what they are. They're really cute. But the one has not come out of his thing. I think it's because he's been eating marijuana for the last fucking 3 weeks or something, but. And the other snail is kind of looking at me and jumping around a little bit, but He's not eating. Lena, you don't know what's going on in that terrarium. All kinds of messages. You got crystals in there with them. They're buzzing. They're buzzing. Now you got them under that red lamp. They love that. It's nice and hot. Why are you talking like that? I'm getting excited. All right, so let's keep the snails. All right, I feel more excited about having snails now. Because I woke up thinking, oh, I'm going to have to put these snails outside. This is just not happening. No. Please be patient. Think of those snails as me. Think of those snails. Yes, those snails are me. You're those snails? No, they're me. Now, what are you talking about? Crumbs? So the cats are all jumping around and they're going absolutely fucking crazy because I got these snails going here, right? And I wake up and all the cats are like in two of them are on the bed. Like one of them is at the foot of the bed because he's just crazy and he won't come on the bed, but he's like, and the other one just comes bouncing in here and she jumps on the bed. They're all going nuts because the snail situation, right? But I'm going to get you a crystal snail today. Are you? Aw, you're so nice to me. We're going to find a beautiful crystal snail. Oh. You know what we could do then? What? If the snails stay, we can put them we can put the crystal snail in the terrarium and it will be like their god. Oh. Jesus. And they'll be like, we can't leave here. It's God. We have to stay with this thing. I knew there was a crazy reason that insane woman stuck us in this bowl. To be with God. Exactly. There's a lesson here. All right. Crumbs. Yes. Linda, you can still talk to me. All is forgiven. I do want those skulls back, but, and I do hope you feel better and stuff, and I do hope you get the help you need with the exorcist and everything. I'm not kidding. You got to get rid of. We're already kind of working on it for you, but you got to petition the Lord. But you cannot petition the Lord with prayer. Well, what does that mean? Absolutely nothing. You can petition the Lord with prayer. Why did Jim Morrison say you cannot petition the Lord with prayer? Well, that would be just prayer, empty prayer, just saying words like rote. But honest to God, earnest prayer will get you far. That's all. So you can. Crumbs. All right. So the crumbs. How do you keep cat litter and crumbs off a bed when the cat is? They were just. I know it's the disgusting thing. You know what I was gonna do? I was gonna get like a thing, like the guys in the restaurant use to get crumbs off a tablecloth. Well, you have several things like that. You have the gua sha tools. I do, but I don't know if they're flat enough surface. I could use that hunting knife, but then I'll probably fucking kill myself. Sit on it by mistake. Be calling Chris in here. Chris, there's a knife in me. I gotta get to the hospital. I'm bleeding. That poor guy. He's seen more than he needs to see about this life. Chris, I'm bleeding. Could you imagine? I got this beautiful fucking hunting knife. It's not really a hunting knife. It's like a folding knife, but it's very sharp. And I won it in a bid on eBay. And the only reason I bid on a knife was because of the handle. It's the most gorgeous abalone handle. Really, really gorgeous. But then the knife comes, right? And I have nerve damage in my hands and I have trouble opening and closing things sometimes. I'm getting better, but it's like, and I couldn't get the knife open or closed correctly. And it's so sharp and the blade is just vicious looking, really. And I became convinced that I was going to just having this knife in the room with me, I would end up like slashing my own throat by mistake. I was like, I can't have this knife in here. I've got to send it back. I made a mistake. I can't. And I was so like, it's like, I don't have to open this knife. I never have to open this knife. I can keep it closed and look at the handle and enjoy it my entire life, right? But I became so obsessed with having an accident that I was like, John, I have to give this knife away. I can't keep this knife. I'm gonna give it to somebody for Chris. I'm gonna, maybe Steven wants to, and Chris, and or Chris, I maybe one. And John was like, I won that knife for you because of how beautifully it's made. And that knife might just save your life one day. You never know. And when your hands are better, you'll be able to handle that knife like a pro. What is wrong? What is wrong with you? You can't even have a knife near you without thinking that you're going to amazingly slash your. Well, exactly, Lena. That's what happened to Chris Cornell. He hung himself because of demonic possession, right? He had no control over it. And you're right to fear having things like that around. If you're dabbling in the dark energy, or if the dark energy is pervading you. And one way that the dark energy can pervade is through psychotropic drugs. Also, opioids. Anthony Bourdain, another example. And yes, the documentary was still watching because it's so hard for Lena to get through this. What's wrong with Aunt Diane? It's amazing that like 1 minute I'm like laughing and then this horrible stuff comes. Well, so today we're staying on demonic possession and we're going to be talking about that. And yes, we're going to have Bowie in shortly to do a take and a reading on Beth Lawson, who is at this time demonically possessed and convinced that she is working hand in hand with David Bowie when in fact it is Lucifer. And she may seem like a very benign, jaunty little person. Those are just the ones. She's alone in the world pretty much. And she's very impressionable and she depends on her communication with spirits and skulls. It's all she has. Does she have any pets? I didn't notice. I would keep those away from her too. Oh God, don't get ahead of yourself. But I wouldn't let that woman care for a snail. Not the shape she's in right now. That's another reason you're going on to Facebook. Your posts are necessary there. You need to get some more of the word out. Look, this is important work. We're not going for any other reason to where we go online except by the direct orders of the Lord and the Mother. So roll up your sleeves, breathe on those snails, and it's going to be a big day. Yes, Lord, amen. Oh, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, and I shall not fear. Amen. Amen. Also, to Nan out there, I do want those skulls back, but more than that, I would love to hear from you because you got me a little bit worried, Nan. Got me a little bit worried. You girls kind of fell apart, and I just want to make sure you're okay. Beth, I feel like a repelling feeling. I don't want to hear from her. That's because it's a very powerful, overwhelming feeling you would have about Beth because of the energies that are surrounding her. And I don't want you anywhere near her right now. So don't worry, you're protected. The Lord and the Mother. The Lord and the Mother. So we're also gonna start a paint project today. That's always really good for us. So we're gonna do the paint project, and we're gonna unpack that new guitar. All in its time, but those are our projects today. We have lots of worthy twin flame missionary work to do. It's going to be good, don't you worry. Okay, so keep the snails, yes. Yeah, the one revived mightily when John said, breathe on him. Hold the terrarium and breathe into it. So just the out breath, I didn't breathe in because you have to be careful. Snails have like this weird, you got to be careful with snails. Like kids who put snails in their mouth, they get really sick. Yeah. I was reading up on this. You have to be extremely careful. And when you touch them, or especially the slimy part, if they climb on you, you got to wash your hands really good. I haven't touched them yet, except just to tap on the shell. But when I breathed on him this morning, at John, I didn't even think of it. John said, "Breathe gently into the terrarium, like you're breathing into a paper bag." So inhale away from the terrarium, and then breathe out into the terrarium. And the one guy just really perked up and started, his little antennas were going. And I said, "Oh, he likes that." And John said, "Yeah, that's the mother's breath, very warm. It's like a warm summer day." Yeah, and then we put him underneath the red lamp, which is a very gentle glow. And that seems to be agreeing with the one. But my concern is for the first one. Yeah, no. Can you give it a couple of days at least? Give it the weekend. How's that? And you might feel very differently, and they might just win you over. They have won me over, but I want them to be happy. And for that reason, all will turn out well. Yes, okay, Lord. So let's start getting ready for Bowie. We need to do some more stretches. I need to unblock your chest and your arms this morning. So we got to get to work with the rubber bands. And yeah, and I didn't even know that. They found one of those rubber bands around Chris Cornell's neck. One like the exercise bands like that I use all the time. And yeah, that was like the murder weapon, Lena. That was the murder weapon of the demon. Tied it around his neck, pulled tight. Are we going to talk to Chris Cornell in the days coming? We're talking to him right now, and more will be revealed. I love you. Let's move into the day together. I love you too. This is the word of the Lord. Amen. Amen.